Okay. Good evening, everyone. So this is the first introduction session. We'll try to understand. So what kind of the course content we are going to cover, like in the full stack training. First, we'll start with the core Java, and inside the core Java, what are the concepts we are going to discuss? First, we'll identify, and later we'll discuss about the remaining technologies what we are going to cover here. Okay, so if we observe carefully, first we'll identify the history of this particular Java language, and inside the history, these are all the different features we are going to have. We'll try to cover up the one by one. So the main features we need to understand how this particular object oriented, the OOPS principle is going to work. So if you are familiar with this particular section, you can easily understand if you are trying to write any application or if you're trying to focus on the existing application. For example, if you're trying to develop the migrator application, you can easily understand how, like, what are the functionality they implemented internally, and as well as how the implementation, like how the particular code is going to the execute, the flow of execution, we can easily understand. So now you can think how much the OOPS principles are important here. Okay, and after this we will try to discuss about the variable sections here. What are the different type of variable we are having, and the scope of the each and every variable, how it is going to work internally. And along with this, we'll try to discuss about the arrays concept, like what are the different types of arrays we can use with the help of this particular Java language. It's like a one dimension, two dimensions, like a three dimensions, four dimensions. So based upon the dimensions, we are going to create the arrays internally. And basically the arrays concept, it is used to store the multiple values. Those are having the same data type here. Okay, we'll identify how we are going to discuss about the different example inside this particular arrays here. So after this, we'll try to discuss about the operators here. What are the different types of operators we are going to use here? So if we observe, like, mainly we'll focus on the arithmetic operators, as well as the some of the ternary operator is very important, because in the all the real-time applications we'll focus more on this particular ternary operator. So along with this particular ternary operators, we'll try to cover up the some of the relational and assignment operators here. Okay, so after this, now we'll try to move on to the loops concept. Like, we'll try to discuss about the control statement, like how we can come up with the if conditions and else condition, getting the point. So based upon the some conditions, we'll try to use the if and else here. Along with that, we'll move on to the switch cases. Like, along with the switch cases, we'll move on to the some of the loops. Like, whenever we are trying to iterate, like whenever we want to get the one by one value. So the concept we are going to use as a loop concepts here, we'll try to discuss about the different types of loop concepts, how we are going to use internally. And after this, we'll discuss about the classes information, because in Java, if I want to write single program or if we want to develop the application, it starts with the class. So without the class, you are not going to write a single line of statement here. So now you can understand how much this particular class is important here. Okay, so this particular section will try to discuss more example, like how we can define the classes, what are the data types we can define, and what are the syntaxes we can follow, like creation of the constructors, methods, variable declarations, and variable initialization. So everything we are going to discuss here. Okay, now you can think here, this particular section is very important. So once we completed this particular classes section, now we'll move on to the inheritance here. How this particular inheritance is going to work internally, what are the types of different types of inheritance we are having, and we'll try to cover up with the one by one. So this inheritance, so the inheritance is one of the our object oriented principle here. So we need to understand how this inheritance internally it is going to work. Okay, so after this, we'll try to discuss about the packages and interfaces. What are the types of packages we can create, and why we need to create this particular packages information. Okay, so while using this particular package, how we can differentiate the name of the different classes here, and without using this particular package, what are the drawbacks we are going to have, we'll discuss about the packages. So same way, we'll try to focus more about the interfaces, how we can create the multiple interfaces, what are the syntaxes we need to follow, and later we'll discuss about the differences between classes and interfaces, how it is going to work internally, and earlier how it was worked, and now with the help of this particular latest versions here, how it is implemented. Okay, these are all the different information we are going to discuss inside this particular packages and interfaces. And coming back to this particular exception handling. So exception handling is one of the important here, because in the real-time scenarios, we are going to write a lot of exceptions here based on the validations. For example, if we want to provide the username with help of some lowercase characters or uppercase characters with some numbers, or if with a special characters, these particular sections we are going to handle this particular exceptions here. If the condition is not matched here based on our criteria, we can throw an exception. The exception will handle the user friendly message here, because as a user cannot understand what kind of the message we are going to get from the our application. So now what we will do, the user friendly message we are going to convert from the language message here. So basically we'll get the language related message that can understand only as a developer, but as a user we cannot understand what kind of the message exactly it is. So now what we will do, those kind of messages we are going to reconstruct with help of this particular exception handling. Okay, so now you can think here how much this particular exception handling is important. So using these particular keywords, we are going to discuss about the how this particular exception line internally it is going to work. So now you can see we'll try to discuss about the try and catch. Along with this particular try and catch, we'll try to discuss about the throws and throws keyword. Finally, we'll discuss about the one of the important example on this finally keyword here. Okay, and after this, we'll try to discuss about the multi-threading programming. Basically, the multi-threading basically, whenever we want to allow the multiple users at a time. For example, we have one e-commerce application. So initially we are going to allow the like 10 or 15 users, but whenever we have some offers, like something is going on the some festival related section, now what we can understand here, so the users may increase here. Whenever the users are increased, our application cannot stop here. So the application, it should run how many users are like accessing our application. So the concepts we are going to implement with help of this particular multi-threading here. Okay, we have a different types of information we need to discuss inside this particular multi-threading. Now, later, this is the one of the important the section we need to discuss about the generic. So generic, what exactly it will do? So basically, if whenever like without this particular generic concepts here, whatever the data type we are going to provide, we need to use the same data type here. Okay, so once this particular generic is introduced here, so based upon the requirement, based upon the data type, we can modify the data here. So it is like the at runtime or dynamically we can modify the appropriate data types. Basically, data types is very important concept in our Java language. If you miss the data type, so you are going to get the exceptions here. Okay, but the particular section using this particular generic we can avoid. Whatever the data type we are expecting, we can modify with help of this particular generic concepts.